Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion?
Should I be like Brian and just start asking?
No.
Could we hold number 3 out?
No. We have a motion and a second. Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in.
Let's see the vote. Unanimous approval from those present for the consent agenda items A through F. Item number.
Just for the record, can we clarify that that was a joke? Just
Well, I mean, you know, he always comes and complains that Myers Engineering is jacking us. So
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
at least
That was-
ask.
It's okay. That's probably not to go there.
That was a joke. Item number 4, approval of acceptance of grant funding for OWRB American Rescue Plan Act, application number 23-0231-G in the amount of $1 million. And authorize staff to solicit bids to replace approximately 1.34 miles of deteriorated water mains involving multiple locations within the water system and all apertures required to complete the project. Eddie?
Yes, Mayor and Council, we move that you approve to accept the $1 million grant from the Oklahoma Water Resource Board via the ARPA fund. I will credit former City Manager Leroy Alsop, EWA Director Tenny Maker, and City Engineer Bill Myers for their work on this item. It is just as it sounds. We're replacing water mains throughout the city, mainly west of the Vidoc. If you have any other questions, Tenny or Bill would be happy to answer those.
So
We
moved.
have a motion.
I have a question. Have you already selected where it's gonna go? You already know where you're gonna spend it?
He said the west side, Jason.
Yes, sir. We've got
Could be
I
in
didn't hear
here.
the west side there.
there's a 6-inch water main along Magnolia Court that we're looking at replacing a 6-inch water line along 15th Street from Harrison Avenue to Cleveland Avenue. 12-inch water main along Perkins Avenue from Wynn Street to Drexel. And 8-inch water main replaces along Walnut Street across the creek. It's a creek crossing.
You have a lot of trouble there, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a 12-inch water main replacement along 5th Street, it's also a creek crossing.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Last opportunity. Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to accept the grant funding of $1 million for the replacement of approximately 1.34 miles of deteriorating water main in our system. Item number 5, discussion and possible action to approve amendment number 5 to the wastewater treatment facility with Myers Engineering for the sum of $30,960 for resident project representation services through November 29th of 23.
So moved.
Yeah,
Second.
We,
I got no problem.
we'll wait to see if the city manager has any comments on that.
City Manager recommends approval.
Yeah.
Mayor and Council, this item is a result of the last change order in addition to the bentonite in which they're bringing out to the wastewater treatment plant. This will ensure that we have the project representative out at the project through the completion.
Okay.
Recommend approval.
All right, there's a recommendation. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present to approve amendment number 5 at the sum of $30,960 for a resident project representation services through November 29th of 2023. Bill Myers, that might have been the quickest approval that we've had in the history of the council.
It's up there.
That being the last item on our agenda, I adjourn our Guthrie Public Works, and I open our city council meeting of Tuesday, October 3rd. Second item on the agenda is consent agendas, items A through E. A is the approval of special city council workshop minutes of September 5th. B is the approval of city council minutes of September 5th. C is the approval of special city council workshop minutes at Highland Park on September 12th. D is the approval of special city council workshop minutes at City Hall on September 12th. And E is the approval of budget amendment number 2, amending the budget for the city of Guthrie and the capital equipment fund.
So moved.
Have a motion,
I have a question on E,
E.
if you'd explain that.
Yes, sir. That amendment, if you'll recall, at the retreat, we talked about a list of equipment that Public Works is going to purchase. And so we had to make the budget amendment to fund those purchases.
Good enough?
And that was approximately, a little less than $400,000,
It was under 300,000.
300?
These were these part of the ones that we voted on?
Yes, yes. So you voted on them separately at a separate meeting here in Chambers. So
And this is just moving them from our general fund to the capital fund, is that correct?
that's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Okay, unanimous approval then to approve consent agenda items A through E. Item number 3, discussion and action regarding resolution number 2023-37, amending the EMS fee schedule and establishing optional EMS schedule subscription fee. Chief?
So Mayor and Council, I've been working with our billing company the last couple of months. We've been discussing about raising rates. It's been a couple of years since we've done that. And as you can see in the last presentation for an ambulance, the last 2 years, a brand new ambulance bumper to bumper costs about $400K, when 2 years ago it cost us $200. So I think it's something we need to do. It's not a punishment to any of the clients that we service. It's just something we need to do because of our the cost of everything that's been going up. Our billing company sent us a client A and client B. They kept them anonymous just because they were supposed to. But they are clients that are similar to us with the same kind of response area and everything. And basically what we did was kind of split their rates for proposal. So as you can see, our current EMS rates are on the far left. Client A and client B is what their charges are, and then what we're proposing to increase to. And I can go line for line. Like an ALS NE is non-emergent. Right now we're doing about $1,300 compared to the clients A and B that are about 17 to 15. So we're proposing about $1,600. An ALS emergent call, where we're transporting emergencies, about still $1,300. You can see where they're significantly higher than us. So we're proposing $2,300. Then you've got basic life support, non-emergent, emergent. ALS level 2. We've got a specialty care transport, which are our transfers. We have a DOA transport, a treatment no transport, which is significant for us because we do a lot of these. Like we'll go to a diabetic emergency and give them D50 and wake them up, and a lot of times the patients don't want to go to the hospital just because they know they have diabetes. They may have taken too much insulin, not ate. So we'll do a treatment no transport on them. Well, we're spending way more than $175 in supplies and diesel and wages to go do that. So we're proposing $400 on that, then a mileage increase, and then an ambulance standby. Now, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Go ahead.
interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, keep going. I'll ask after when you get
Okay.
back.
And then Kim and I kind of discussed this before. This ambulance standby we've been doing for like lazy events and stuff like that. We have a verbal contract with them. I'd like to get something in writing at the end of the year. That'd be just something discussing with the lazy E, but we're looking at maybe raising that $25 an hour. Just a couple of times the lazy E will ask for 2 trucks. So it's costing us quite a bit to go out there, especially after you pay these guys double time to stand by.
Do they pay you guys for this?
They do, and they've been
Okay.
sending checks, and we keep track of
Okay.
everything. So,
And if you
Chief.
take 2 trucks out there, that's taking 2 trucks out of
So-
action.
I need to clarify. We take an ambulance out there
Oh, okay.
always, and that ambulance it's out of service. That ambulance does not transport. If something happens, we have to take a second ambulance out there
Oh, okay.
to transport the patient, or they'll have to shut down either event that's going on out there.
Okay.
Can you explain again for everybody as well as myself?
Yep.
The client A, client B, what's
So
the
they
difference of
kept
the columns?
those anonymous, but they're both clients inside Oklahoma that are similar to our EMS response.
So client
So
A,
the
client B,
cities.
they're EMS providers.
Yes.
They
Mhm.
use the same billing company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They just wouldn't disclose their
Just so you
name.
can compare it, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gotcha.
So you can see in a lot of those categories, we're a lot further behind than they
Behind,
are.
yeah.
In all the categories.
So, Chief,
Yes.
so you mentioned the Lazy E. What is our cost to have an ambulance sitting there then?
So we put like into contract that the guys go out there and they stand by, say 4-hour event. Well, those two guys are getting double time to go out there, so we're
Mhm.
paying 8 hours, and then, you know, the salaries just increase, so that's why I'd like to see that go up, especially diesel's gone up, wear and tear on vehicles has gone up.
Mayor, to
So
answer your question, it's a net loss.
It's, yes.
I was gonna say, are we covering our
We're
costs?
we're actually making money. I think last we saw we were like $1,200 profit.
Okay.
That's in the
Yeah.
aggregate, so one event may not net any, however,
It just seems to
multiple-
me that if we're having ambulance on standby, that we shouldn't be losing money
Correct.
to a,
Correct.
To an
special,
event like that.
an event.
And it's something.
So you say we are, in the aggregate, over the course of the year, we are covering our costs for that service?
Yes.
How often do you think they actually have an accident that you guys are glad to be there?
It'd be hard to say. We hardly go out there with a second ambulance. A lot of those, I mean, you get a bull rider, they don't want to go by the ambulance.
Right.
So,
get
motocross
yourself
people.
off the field.
But yeah, I would say very minimal.
Okay.
So do they have a lot of activities out there now?
They do. They actually have a lot, and
Okay.
the Lazy is very good at getting us a list at the start of the year,
Okay.
and we kind of commit to them throughout the year.
I mean, they're a good partner with the community, and I don't mean to point the finger, but I don't think we should be losing money
Correct.
in the
correct,
process
yeah.
either.
No, they're great.
because-
Dan Wall out there, he's a fantastic guy. He's easy to work with, and they've been awesome.
Another question, and I know on your next slide, you identify the insurance coverages, Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, self-pay. So if we increase these rates, does that really change what reimbursement we get from Medicare, Medicaid, and self-insurance?
So Medicare and Medicaid pay like a flat rate. And then like the self-insured outside of there, they pay more. And then the patient's responsible for the rest.
Okay. All right, so it's really not gonna change what the insurance companies are
Correct.
paying
Yeah.
us?
So then I did this slide just to show you, self-insurance, self-pay, then the insurance versus Medicare or Medicaid. And then this subscription fee that we are proposing, we're looking at $100 a year. And this is gonna cover everyone under the household. It doesn't matter if you've got one person or 10, it'll cover everyone. It's a yearly subscription. It is 100% optional. The billing company takes care of everything. There's gonna be a number you can call. There's gonna be a website you can go on and register. It only takes a couple of weeks to get up and running, so we're hoping to start it in January, so we can get them on a yearly deal, January to January. Like I said, it's 100% optional. It's gonna be it's gonna be provided to everyone in our response area. The only people that are not qualified for it are Medicaid patients, which that's why I made that slide here. You can see is 12% about roughly of what we run. But the other three are gonna qualify for the subscription fee. And basically, if we come out and transport them or do a treatment no transport, we will build the insurance, and then whatever the insurance does not pay, we will write off. So it's kind of what like IMSA does. But they do a water fee, a monthly water fee.
So I pay $100 a year if I have to use it. Whatever my insurance doesn't pay.
The insurance company, or the billing company writes off the rest.
And is the subscription timing, I guess, is it gonna be, let's just say January 1st, or
Yeah,
what?
we'd like to get that.
And then for the
January
whole
1st.
year?
Yeah, kind of like, we've got that fire billing subscription fee, and it's January to January,
Yeah.
is that correct? Yeah. And I think
Okay.
it's $100 as well.
It is.
And that covers everybody in the household?
Yes.
It's a heck of a deal.
Pay you right now.
Yeah. Do you take cash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Saying 100% optional.
Okay, all right. Other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion then
So
to
moved.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Any last minute thoughts? Submit your votes.
All votes Ryan?
See the votes. Unanimous approval then for all those present to go forward with resolution number 2023-37, amending the EMS fees and establishing the optional EMS subscription fee. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Item number 4, discussion and possible action on approving amendment number 2, which we just approved.
Do we need to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to vote on that.
This will allow us to actually offer the subscription fee. So the first one allowed us to set the rates, increase the rates, set the rate. Then this one will amend the contract to allow the billing company to bill for the subscription.
So moved.
Okay. Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes Ryan?
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve the amendment number 2 to the agreement EMS for regarding the management and maintenance of the EMS membership subscription program. Item number 5, discussion and possible action to request the approval of final subdivision plat number 103 for 103 residential lots within R1 PUD at Guthrie Farms, Phase 1, southwest corner of Pine and University. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Yeah, just to give you a little bit of background, back in June of '21, you may remember that there was a PUD that was approved for 90.57 acres. The Planning Commission approved the preliminary plat in July of '21. The total build-out is 388 residential lots on the 90.57 acre parcel. At this point, they're looking for Phase 1, which is going to be what was indicated, the 103 lots on 24.8 acres of the 90 acres. The developer has put in all of the required improvements, water, sewer, streets, curb, all that. Our Public Works Department has been throughout the process inspecting it, and at this point has no issue with the improvements that have been put in. So tonight would not only be approving the plat for Phase 1, but also acceptance of all the improvements that I just stated. One other thing that I just wanted to mention, the council may remember, is this was a subdivision that was split by rural water as well as our own. And so with the agreement, this is one of the 2 subdivisions. We have the agreement with Logan County Rural Water to where we'll do everything and then pay them the royalty based on the agreement, and I forgot what it was, but and then all of it's, of course, city sewer. So again, with that, the Planning Commission recommended approval 4-0. The conditions were for a bond, maintenance bond for 100% of the improvement cost be put for 2 years. This is to ensure that if there are any issues with any of the streets, water, sewer, any of that, if the developer would say we're not going to deal with it, we obviously have a bond in which we can take care of those issues. And then they'll be submitting the as-built drawings for us, so we have that on file. So if you have any questions. The engineer is here as well if you have any questions.
And how much is that bond?
It's gonna be broken up. I don't remember the total do you remember what the total improvement costs were? Yeah, as I say, it's like 1.2, 1.3 million total. Yeah.
They're gonna have an emergency exit out of there as well.
It wasn't required. They had talked about putting one in. It was mentioned at the Planning Commission in that. So At this point, it isn't required, and we really can't require them, but if they want to put one, you know, they can do so, yeah.
Okay, other questions? Okay,
Motion to approve.
Second.
a motion and a second. Other thoughts, questions? Submit your votes.
All votes Strang.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those. Then to approve the final subdivision plat of 103 residential lots at the southwest corner of Pine and University, Guthrie Farms, as identified and submitted. Item number 6, discussion and possible action to request special use permit to allow a 20 by 24 carport side yard of existing home on 309 AMC Lane.
Thank you, Mayor. Just as stated, it's a special use permit. Our current residential accessory structure code doesn't allow any accessory structures on the side or front yards unless it's approved through a special use permit. They're requesting a 480 square foot carport on the side of an existing home. This is off of Amsey Lane on the south part of town here. The Planning Commission had recommended approval 4-0 with the conditions that the carport be limited to 480 square feet in size, cannot have sides, and must be located as shown on the site plan. The driveway access to the carport and parking area under the carport must be paved, and then they're required to get a building permit before they would actually put it up. There was no public comment written or at the Planning Commission as well, and so if there's any questions, the owner is here if you do happen to have any questions.
My only question would be, is that similar to what's around them?
There are, there's one actually over right at the corner of, I think, AMZ and that, there's a large metal. There isn't a whole lot of metal structures around there, most of them, but there also aren't a lot of carports, to be honest, in that.
Okay.
Do you know what side it, does it come out front of the?
No, it would still be on the side. It wouldn't protrude forward, yeah, because it would be on his east side, yeah.
Motion to approve.
And neighbor's not gonna say anything either then?
No, because like I said, we had no public comment at the hearings or even written.
Okay, we have a
I'll
motion, and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes Strang.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve the special use permit allowing a 20 by 24 carport on the side of existing home at 309 MC Lane. Item number 7, discussion possible action to approve entering into an interlocal agreement with Guthrie Public Schools and the City of Guthrie. Eddie.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this interlocal agreement would allow the City of Guthrie to utilize the IT department at Guthrie Public Schools. We're looking at cost-efficient ways, better ways to partner within the community. Within my staff report, you saw a 5-year billing history with NORPS, which is our current IT provider. The average annual cost with NORPS came out to $39,000 a year. What I've proposed between the City of Guthrie and Guthrie Public Schools totals $35,000 for the first year, and any rate in excess of 40 hours, so an overtime rate in the event of an emergency, ransomware hack, etc., $100 an hour, which is less than our existing contract with NORPS at $115 an hour. So at this point, we would recommend approval.
Okay.
So
Questions?
Is there any benefit to the city or to the school system as well?
The school system's going to get an additional employee. They won't be dedicated to us, however, we will have access to that person. So,
Okay. We do have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes Strang.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve entering into an interlocal agreement with Guthrie Public Schools for IT services for 1 year. Item number 8, discussion and possible action to adopt ordinance number 3400 request to amend the employee retirement system to allow department heads or department managers to elect which retirement plan they participate in. Eddie?
Yes, Mayor and Council. These next two items are particular for the city clerk, treasurer, and the public works director. As you saw in my staff report, both of those positions, because of their tenure, currently contribute to a plan that has a lesser value than existing department heads. So we've discussed this in lieu of a base raise in salary for this fiscal year. Both employees have agreed that the city would make up the difference. There's no back pay or anything of that nature. But going forward, these next two items, one will allow them to participate. The second will set the terms, which is 4% employer contribution only, no employee contribution. So to clear that up, any employee who is not a department head level participates at an employee contribution of 3.69%. The city pays 7.6 something. And some change. Well, Kim and Tenny have both been here 20 plus years and come up through the ranks, so they participate in that plan. Department heads today receive 10% employer contribution through the ICMA 457 plan. So what this item will do is essentially make Kim and Tenny whole, which in my opinion should have been done some time ago.
And this will apply to all department heads after them who meet the same criteria?
So it shouldn't be a problem in the future because anybody we onboard now at a department head level, it has the ICMA option to start. However, I suppose there could be an opportunity where if somebody come up through the ranks, that's a good question. We could look at that and address that as it comes up. But at this point, it is particular to those two positions.
Specific to those two
Yep.
individuals, okay? All right, any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
And a second, we have a motion and a second.
Second.
Last chance,
No, sorry.
submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to adopt ordinance number 3400, amending our employee retirement system with specific reference to the two department heads identified. Item number 9, discussion possible action on declaring an emergency clause for this ordinance number 3400.
Mayor and Council, the reason for this is to file the paperwork and get the plan in motion. It does take some time, so the two department heads won't receive any contributions until January. However, if we waited another 30 days, that would put them out until February. So the emergency allows OMRF to get the paperwork filed and things set in motion tomorrow.
Okay, all right, questions? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second?
We got another gate on that one.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then, declaring emergency clause for ordinance number 3400. Item number 10, discussion and possible action to adopt ordinance number 3401 to adopt an employee retirement system the defined contribution plan for the city clerk and public works director.
Nothing further, sir.
Okay, all right, entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to adopt ordinance number 3401 for the adopting an employee retirement system for the city clerk and public works director. Item number 11, discussion possible action declaring an emergency clause for ordinance number 3401.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval to declare an emergency clause containing within ordinance number 3401. Item number 12, proposal to go into executive session pursuant to the purchase or appraisal of real property.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
Unanimous approval then to move into executive session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you in a bit. Okay, I entertain a motion to move out of executive session into open session.
So moved.
Motion, we have one motion.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval to move from executive session to open session. Item number 13, acknowledge return, item 14, is consider action to purchase appraisal of property. No action taken at this time. Item number 15, city manager report.
Yes, Mayor and Council, been a busy last couple of weeks. Thank you for allowing us to cancel that last council meeting. Contrary to public belief or perception, we have been extremely busy. We've been to several properties. We've had several meetings and workshops, and so we thank you for your time. We didn't want to consume you with a couple of pay applications for the last item, so thank you again for that. Last week, we held the Aereo Caucus Legislative Fly-In at the Guthrie Edmond Regional Airport. Had 4, maybe 5 legislators in attendance. Several state dignitaries came out. Several of you guys were there. Thank you for being there. The Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission was thrilled. They love our airport. It's a great time, so thank you for that. Coming up in October, we've got the Bluegrass Festival, which will be October 12th through the 14th. Several events going on. The Wine Fest is going to be on Saturday the 21st. This weekend, we've got Crazy Days in downtown, which is the chamber event with shopping, the kids zone, activities, etc. The new ambulance has arrived. I sent all of you guys pictures. You've seen the Facebook post. Chief Lawson did a great job organizing that, getting that taken care of. EMI celebrated 40 years. So if you're not aware, environmental management, it's a great company out there off of 33. So we appreciate them choosing Guthrie. Last week, in addition to the legislative fly-in, staff attended the Hope House event. Mayor Gentling was the MC for a T-Mobile Hometown Grant Award to the Hope House. So we look forward to that donation and what will come of that. Lastly, we've got a chamber investor lunch on October 12th from 11:30 to 1. We would request, if you're available, come by Mineral Wells Park. Let me or Kim know so we can make sure the Chamber of Commerce with the donation of the chapels will be serving their chamber investors. So we're trying to promote the event, get some turnout for the chamber, support Brittany's item. In addition to that, the tourism office has moved into the chamber building here on Oklahoma. So we were over there in the facility next to Hoboken Coffee, had a really cheap rent rate on an annual basis. It was about $2,400 a year. Hoboken was generous to us. However, we decided to partner with the Chamber of Commerce, take that $2,400 a year, sponsor a chamber event, get our name out there. We're on Oklahoma. It would also allow the chamber office to be open on Saturdays when the tourism office would be open. So we're hoping to generate some foot traffic sort of in the downtown core, if that makes sense. So other than that, that's all I have for you.
All right. Thank you. Item number 16, comments from members of the City Council. Councilman Case?
I don't have anything.
Councilman Rob?
Nothing right now. Thank you.
Councilman Taylor?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your hard work, what you put together tonight, and it's, that's wonderful. Thanks, staff. I appreciate everything, too.
Okay. Councilman Williams?
Get your umbrellas out. Pray for rain.
Yes, exactly.
Pray for rain. Amen.
We do have, I mean, there are a host of things going on in this community the whole month. It's amazing. Some of the standbys, bluegrass, but some new things too. There's a fireside chat with up to 5 governors. Present governor, Governor Stitt is definitely going to be there. Possibly 4 previous governors will be there at the Masonic, 10 o'clock on Thursday. and an opportunity to kind of ask them questions and get their perspective on state of the state, if you will.
Mayor,
So-
if I could jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I did put out an email last week with that invite. Please let me know if you're going to make it. The city will cover your attendance. Mayor, I know you're already included. However, anybody else, if you can make it on the 5th at the temple, let me know so I can get you registered.
And one of the other standbys, or becoming a standby, Guthrie Haunts, one of the scariest places in the state, and some say in the country, I think kicks off this weekend. So if you're into that kind of thing,
It's the
go out
top
there.
attraction of its kind in Oklahoma. It really is.
It is quite a deal.
It's
It is
amazing.
quite a deal. So, and then of course we have the farmer's market at the pop-up shops on Saturday.
It's Friday.
Friday.
evening.
Friday.
So there will be, in November and December, there will be 3 weekends. The farmer's market will move to Saturday evening to coincide with the Victorian Walks and what other event? Territorial Christmas. So there will be a bit of a schedule change to coincide with that event.
Lots going on. Lots going on. So be a part of it, folks. With that, we're adjourned. Thank you.